Hey everybody, ModelMan here, and with the Pt3, this is the first full test fit of everything locked down, in place, sitting where it's supposed to. It's very nice. This side here is a little loose because that peg had broken off, and this is where I'd be putting in the new bolt. But let's start with, may as well start here. So it's tough to see how much or little space is under here. What I'm going to have to do is like lift up the piece, put it back down, and just kind of guesstimate. Over here, clearing this out has made this whole area wide open. It turned out I didn't need to remove those old cool LEDs. I could have left them there. However, this also shows me that rather than installing a new LED strip this far up, I can go back to that original line and still have that working. I may still install a second LED strip in there just to get the maximum possible lighting yield going on. And there is plenty of room under here for all sorts of LEDs if I need them, fiber optics if I gotta route them, and so on and so forth. Over in this bay here, I did have to go and cut out that sidewall to get that RGB to sit in there, but it's sitting pretty well, and that's going to be fairly unobtrusive. Well, a side note is I was just looking through the directions again, and I noticed that there's something on page 1 that says there's 2 lights up in the ceiling here. I'm wondering if these 2 balls here are it. If so, I just may replace them with LEDs if I can. We'll see about that. It's a really flat area, and I'd be interfering with the whole foundation of it, basically. Swinging over here, there's a fair amount of space all in this area down underneath. Sliding around here and looking backwards, there's all sorts of space under the back room, and clearly a ton of space here to do whatever I need. I mentioned a third sequencer is going to go up above the freezer wall. Looks like I can put a fourth and a fifth right here easy enough. There's no reason why not to. This is temporarily in here while I still finish. I need to paint that sidewall repair, and then this room is essentially done and I can finally glue it into place. Over here, the new crack in the floor is a little visible. I may repaint it. We'll see. Looks like this bit of floor here could use a little touch up as well, and the whole thing really needs to be dusted down very, very badly. However, the main goal here is to make sure everything fits, and it's really fantastic to see it fitting so well. I'd like to say it's pure chance and relies on the luck of the universe, but I did actually plan for everything that's going on here, and yeah, I'm very happy about this. So I got a bank of aluminum tubes right here that are open for use, so I can put a sequencer into there. In fact, I can run the sequencer that goes here into there. There's a few LEDs that have to go in this area, not a big deal. There's a Fedoratron pulsator that I think is going to get glued to the back of this, angling down. And the danger ball still has to be installed along with all of its wires that will probably come down right into this area here, but no problem. Very nice. I did identify the lowest point of any mounted LED or aluminum tube. The tightest point is also right next to it. It's the elevator roundel right there. Previously there was a single LED pointing up into the elevator grills to get that lit up. However, to be accurate, it's 4 separate lights divided into quadrants for that, and I'll be putting 4 lights attached directly to the bottom of the deck here and going in there. Any other last notes? I'm really glad this decided to fit so well. I kind of figured it would, and I could certainly unsolder it and move it around if I had to, but all of these guys are fitting in nicely, these brass tubes in the lower hull, and they all seem to be perfectly set to avoid any issues that are going on, whether they're just low enough, to the side enough, or whatever. So let me show you the lowest LED point. Oh, and another note is that I'm really shocked at how much headroom I still have down in the bottom here. I really wish I could get a better view with the camera overall. Even if I do a handhold, it's still not all that great. Yeah, so right here, this aluminum tube is the lowest all set all around. So even though there's 2 layers of aluminum tubes here, I could still put another full layer on there, another full layer on here, and still have room going on. I can totally double and triple layer all of this here, which is going to be real handy, because the less far I have to run all these fiber optics, the better, because I'm still going to need a lot of room for all the bare wiring, because I have to at least do 1 wire per LED plus 1 common negative. Probably 2 common negatives depending on how many LEDs, because I don't want to put too much power through the lines. This 26 gauge is about 1.5 amps worth of power, so it should hold up fairly well. I'm not too worried about that at all. So all down in here, there's room for more tubes. Over here there's room for LED tubes. Over here there's more room for LED tubes. Over here there's tons more room for LED tubes. And over here and here and here. Basically, it looks like I could entirely triple the amount of LEDs that are flashing alone, never mind adding more static colors, which I don't need really. It's all flashing ones at this point. I could thread single fibers to single LEDs and have that be a unique spot on the ship somewhere, and I would still have tons more room. This is really, really, really good to know. While I'm here, the next big installation issue is going to be putting the command consoles in here. I've got fiber to route through this. It'll be easy on that side, easy on this side, but the middle, that's a lot of resistors right there, so I'm going to have to bank it off immediately and just kind of hope for the best. And I can easily glue another tube down here. In fact, I'm going to glue several because I can. It's awesome. As to all, looking at all these fibers here, I'm realizing that all these single strands are going above this main bundle. If I want to cut this main bundle down to a closer area, then I'm going to have to pull all of these single strands out, lay them back down, and then throw all these, probably at least 100 strands right there. I doubt if there's less. This means I'm going to have so much variety in the lighting, it's going to be incredible. I'm so happy about this. There does have to be an order of operations for all of this, though. There's some things that can't be done until other things are done. But that's kind of the way it goes, I suppose. Amongst the things that needs to be done sooner than later, in fact, something that needs to be done before I can put more sequencers in here, is this back room has to be finished off. As you can see, it's just this wall needs to be painted, a slight bit of patching there, perhaps some at the top, right there at the corner, and then this is good to go. I've got 4 fibers to thread there, and a single LED to put up here in the corner, just like they did in the actual studio. Looks like I should probably plug this plug up too. There's no way to see this hole right here, but if there's light leaking through this, I'd rather just block it all off. But when you're looking at it this way, there is essentially no possible way to see this corner once this piece is installed. However, this will bring light into here, and this should be total shadow right there. That is a fact. So yeah, this piece is relatively easy, it just needs me to do it. More lighting that can be installed here. There's 3, possibly 6 LEDs total, and probably up to a dozen fibers that are going to come out of the bottom there. There's the danger ball, the danger towers. There should be 2 strands of LEDs coming to 2 strands of fiber optics coming into the side of the bottom of the danger ball as well. There's going to be at least one LED here, if not several. And this guy is all set. Those guys are all set. I do have to thread fibers for this wall here. This drill bit happens to be too large, so we'll come back when I've got a more appropriate one. I'm almost ready to install the command consoles. There's a bunch of fiber optics that are poking up above the surface, so I'm going to have to pull those back down. And it looks like in every case I can install all of these LEDs into the bottom of the ship.